Good morning again, and we are out on the new Hogan Reservoir. Once again, it's Wednesday morning, the 10th of September, 2008. I'm going to hook up my bait, and I'm going to do a little infomercial about my bait today. I used shad most of last week till I ran out of it, and that's what I caught the fish on, so I've got more shad this week. There is a little frozen threadfin shad. This is the natural bait out here. This little reservoir and I just lost my first piece of bait. Take another one out here. I need to put them in the warm water to thaw them out a little so I can work with them. This threadfin shad is frozen that I buy, and it probably comes from the Delta, but this is the bait that permeates this water here. It's just full of shad. I mean, the shad are in here by the billions, and that's why these stripers are so full, it seems like, all the time, and not all that inclined to bite. They just are at a banquet table 24 hours a day, I think. I'm going to demonstrate a little better this week than I did last about these Pro-Troll roto chips. It's just set on a leader, and there's the, as you can see, it's just like a little clamp with hooks attached. There's a little metallic device in here that when it's wet, it sets off a, I believe it has to be wet, it sets off a little charge of electricity into the water that supposedly mimics bait fish when it's either wounded or being chased, and that supposedly will inspire the striper to strike. I put this shad, and by the way, this is a huge shad so far as bait goes. They're usually about a fraction of this size. I made a point of buying big ones, thinking they might be more attractive to the stripers today. It's kind of a job squeezing this bait in here when it's so frozen. And my hands are also kind of weak in my old age. We're back in business. It took a little more thawing out. There's that big old shad ready to do its job. And I'm going to attach it now to my rod, to my line. This will be my longest, farthest back shad, and he'll be at about 19-20 feet. And here he goes. And while that's running out, I'll start thawing out another shad for the other side. You can see these things are frozen like a cake, frozen together. And I'm going to thaw out another one a little bit here. Incidentally, this morning, we're 2 weeks from the first day of autumn, and this is the first morning all summer that we've got dew on the windows and kind of moist and cool. Now I'm going to drop this down in the downrigger. I'm going to turn the camera so that it's visible somewhat, I hope. Look at that beautiful sunrise coming up over the foothills. The clip is attached. The bait's back 100 feet. And now I simply drop the 20 feet. Set the drag on the rod, turn on the clicker, so when I get a hit, it'll wake me up. You want to have a nice spring in that rod. That's why I use kokanee rods. That rod is bent very nicely. When I get a hit, it breaks it loose from the clip and the rod will take up the slack. And that one line, this one over here, is back 100 feet at 19 feet deep. This one is down about 27 feet and it's 85 feet back. Now the idea of having different depths and distances is that if a fish shies from the first one, which is the higher or the lower one at 25 feet, immediately after there's another one passes overhead at about 18, 19 feet. And I get enough hits on the shallower one at 19 feet, more hits there. It makes me think that that idea works. Of course, who knows? These fish are unpredictable and unknowable generally. But we are here at about 7 in the morning. We're now fishing, which is a bit later than I used to, but again, it's getting light so much later. So my fishing gets started a little later. A little after 9 o'clock, and I've been fishing now for 2 whole hours using the hot bait last week, which is shad. I'm in just about finished my first bag of it. I changed it about half an hour ago. Haven't even had a bump. Haven't seen anybody else lift their nets. Seen a couple of boils, so there's some feeding going on. But I'm afraid there's so much feeding going on here that the stripers just don't care about what we're offering them. They've got so much bait that they chase to the surface and keep themselves full. It's like a 24-hour banquet here. That who knows? This might be one of those days where you try all day and never get a bump. That happened 2 weeks ago. But I shall keep on trying for a few more hours. Well, here we are about, it's going close to 1:30, and I can't buy a fish. It's just that way today. Some days that's how Hogan is. I saw one person lift a net and put a fish in the boat, and they were, I believe they were just drifting with bait. Maybe that's what I should have been trying, but I'm not going to change my trolling to drifting this late in the game. And I saw that catch only about a half hour ago. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and I'm going to reel in and put stuff away and head for the dock and head for home. It's been a good day. Catching fish is a bonus. Being out on a lake on a September day when it's not really, really hot, and yet it's not uncomfortably cool. What more can you ask for? Maybe next week I'll have a better report. So for now, FishWisher is signing off.